you do that? How did you do that?
Welcome back everyone. Today I'm going to hopefully clear up some issues surrounding the stam DK sustain with the new patch. Now this is on the live server, but I'm going to demonstrate basically what would happen if you lose your points. Obviously, as you know, warlord is now gone, so I've stripped all my points out of there. No reduction to cost. 13% on recovery is around 60 points in the new expansion. That's pretty much where I'd hit before I get diminished return, so that's comfortable for me there. And then tenacity, the maximum you can get on the new patch is 15% at the moment, so I pumped that into there to make sure I have the equivalent of what I would have. The rest are all in tumbling. They're doing nothing there, but I have to make sure I just put them somewhere. So I've got 0 reduction to cost. Now this is the same builds I always use. You can look it up on my channel. I've linked it in the description below. Let me just alter a couple of skills here just so I'm back to normal. Now the only thing I have altered is this. Instead of using igneous weapons, which gives you major brutality, I've actually gone to molten armament, which instead of giving me major brutality, it doesn't. It gives me sorcery instead, which is useless, I know. So I use brutality pots. But here it increases my damage from my full charged heavy attacks by 40%. Now, obviously, we're going to have to heavy attack and light attack as much as possible in this patch in order to make sure we use our primary attacks more and sustain. Now, you get stamina back from hitting. Now obviously, as you can see, usually I do a simple rapid strikes, light attack, a dot, then light attack, rapid strikes, a dot again, and so on and so forth. Instead, I'm keeping a very similar rotation, but I'm doing a full heavy attack into a rapid strikes, then a light attack and dot. Then another full heavy attack into a rapid strikes, light attack and dot again. And then the final heavy attack is for your beast trap, and then swap. This does slow down the rotation very, very slightly, so that your volley or Ender's Hail does fall off just before it's ready to be reapplied, or just before I would usually reapply it, sorry. But it turns out that the damage is so high from the heavy attacks, the way this is actually now set up, and the sustain is so high, that I can close that gap, so it's no longer an issue. Now this is probably a little bit boring because it's very, very long. It's on the 6 million skeleton, which is actually how I practice now. But if you want to fast forward it, you're more than welcome to. But this is how I now sustain. If you notice, there's always a heavy attack with every dot. So heavy attack there, heavy attack here, heavy attack again, now coming. There it is. So there's 3 heavy attacks. There's 3 hits there which give me stamina back. As you can see, my stamina is not struggling too bad at all, with no reduction to cost. No vicious Orphidian, no warlord, no nothing. I use pots to keep up my brutality and my recovery, and I use my ultimate obviously as soon as I get it, as long as I'm on the right rotation, to put it back up again. Helping Hand is a little bit altered now, but that's still enough to do it. I've tested it on the PTS. Obviously I can't show you because for some stupid reason it's down again today, and obviously there are NDAs in place, so I don't want to get penalised for that. But so far so good. This is actually working out very, very nice. So for you stam DKs out there, don't panic. Got it covered. I did mention before that I would have a new rotation for you, and this is pretty much it. It's very, very close to the last one, except we're weaving with heavies instead of lights.
Yep.
Well, heavies and lights. We're combining the two. Now you can slow it down, you can speed it up, whatever. But this works. This is where the sound went, I think. So we lose a bit of sound here, but don't worry. Ignore the chat on the side. I do apologise. I left all my trading guild spam up on the left, on the right there. But here it comes. Another heavy attack before the end. Finish him off. You'll see that the heavy attacks are quite hard, and they fit in. And there you go, 37.6k DPS on a stam DK with 0 reduction to cost and full sustain for yourself, and also using heavy attacks instead of light. So hopefully that relieves some panic on the stam DK front, because I know people are really, really worried about sustain. Yes, things do cost a little more on the PTS at the moment, and they will do when the live server comes in, but don't worry, the sustain is still absolutely fine. Especially when you're in a trial or dungeon situation where you'll be taking synergies anyway. It's absolutely fine. And that's 100% solo. So, once again, thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe if you're not subscribing already. It is free. That button's going to come up in just a moment. Actually, at the end of the video, I think. Also, alongside that is my Patreon page, my Facebook page, and of course the website, which is xynodegaming.com. Thank you all very much so far, and I will see you again very, very soon. Goodbye.